Hey guys, I'm back with another video. Hopefully you could tell I'm sounding better now. So I think I'm finally over all my sickness, and I'm finally back on the mend. So hopefully, I can start putting out content a little bit more on a regular schedule on top of my day job and everything else. But I am feeling better now, and I hope I sound better. Not 100% there yet, but close. But anyways, so back on the weekend when Captain Marvel was releasing, there was a hashtag that had started by Jack Posobiec with One American News Network to go see. There was a hashtag was Alita Battle, or the Alita Challenge, and it was to get people to go see Alita instead of Captain Marvel on the weekend that Captain Marvel was opening. So this was a couple of weeks back, and the whole concept was that Alita has a strong female lead. It didn't have the drama that was surrounding Captain Marvel, and it's like, why was that? So, and I had actually talked with Jack and via DMs and stuff, talking about numbers, and Alita actually did fairly well considering that the weekend that Captain Marvel came out. So I think there was a little bit of an impact, but overall, you can't really beat the major machine that is an MCU movie. So the Alita Challenge led to some interesting things. People saying that their theaters were sold out, but the theaters were empty and all this kind of stuff. So there was some kind of weird stuff with that. But anywho, our friends at the Mary Sue wrote an article today, how Alita Battle Angel found an unlikely fan base in MRA trolls. And some of the tweets I had gotten some traction when I was doing the Alita Battle Angel Challenge, or the Alita Challenge, and thankfully they didn't call out any of my tweets, although I kind of wish they had. But anyways, so this is the Mary Sue, Chelsea Steiner. Internet trolls by definition hate everything. They hate women running for office, they hate non-white people in Star Wars, and boy oh boy do they hate female superheroes. Which all this is actually just wildly incorrect. I mean, internet trolls hate anything. Well, let me phrase that. Internet trolls do hate everything because they're just wanting to troll. They don't really care about anything. But their definition of troll is super broad. So somebody like me would probably be considered a troll. So we here at the Mary Sue are unfortunately experts on this subject because every time we publish an article on these topics, we are inundated with angry comments, tweets, and hate email from a host of angry anonymous dudes who are furious because of woman. The most recent herpes-like outbreak of impotent male rage came last month when men in basements across America furiously scorned the release of Marvel's first female lead feature, Captain Marvel. Man-boys were incensed over several things, including Brie Larson not smiling, her lack of a sexy outfit, her outspoken feminism, and her impassioned call for diversity in film journalism. If you're a woman on social media who shared excitement over Carol Danvers, chances are that you were flooded with a wave of egg-profiled baby men, and with 11 followers calling you names from the wheel of MRA insults, feminazi, SJW, libtard, cuck, or my favorite, dumb cunt. And they say this, but they don't really have any examples of this, so they're just being hyperbolic, which, it's hard to take it seriously. But something else strange was happening. Along the usual Pepe-faced insults was a call to action to support what these men thought was a true depiction of a female superhero, Alita Battle Angel. Actually, you know what? Go back to this previous statement here. Baby men with 11 followers. Most people on Twitter only have less than 100 followers. I think there's actually a vast majority, like a vast percentage of Twitter users who have like less than 100 followers. I mean, if you have like more than 10,000, you are like in the top 0.5% of Twitter users. But anyways, let's see. Trolls all across the internet called on their brethren to boycott Captain Marvel and spend their sweaty dollars on Alita instead. Alt-right troll Jack Posobiec posted a video asking fans to skip Captain Marvel and see Alita, dubbing it the Alita Challenge, or hashtag Alita Challenge. The challenge failed because of course it did. Alita went on to gross $84 million domestically, over $300 million worldwide, while Captain Marvel just sailed past $1 billion at the box office. Now, there needs to be context put around this, because I was the one who put numbers together for this. And by an average, the weekend that Captain Marvel came out, Alita had dropped half its showtimes and half its screens on average. So because of that, its actual gross income that weekend would never beat Captain Marvel. That'd be impossible, simply because most theaters had one screen showing it 3 times a day, maybe 4. So by doing those numbers, you can extrapolate it out. It actually earned more money per screen or per showing than it did the previous weekend before Captain Marvel had opened up, when it had more screens and more showtimes. So those theaters actually per showing had more people in it than per showing the previous weekend. So there was an impact. But granted, if you're looking at pure money, Captain Marvel obviously is going to do way better because it's just you have 5 screens with 8 showings on each screen. But why did so many men gloam onto Alita Battle Angel as the anti-Captain Marvel? Is it because the film was directed and produced by fanboy patron saints Robert Rodriguez and James Cameron? Or is it because the film is a Fox property, unlike Star Wars and Marvel, which are both owned by Disney? As someone who reviewed Alita Battle Angel and enjoyed its wild special effects and world building, I found Alita as a character to be the weakest part of the film. The robot girl warrior taps into several problematic tropes regarding strong female leads, including the born sexy yesterday cliche, which gives us innocent, childlike women who also possesses massive power but can't find their way without a man. And this makes me think of some of the complaints I saw that she was too pretty. I thought she was actually kind of freaky looking in my opinion, but that's just me. But Alita also taps into the male fantasy of a submissive girl robot devoted to her man. From the moment Alita meets street hustler Hugo, she becomes immediately enamored of him. He also happens to be the first male character she meets outside of her adopted father figure, Dr. Ido. Alita's slavish devotion to Hugo reminded me of one of Futurama's best episodes, I Dated a Robot. Now, here's the thing, though, is that love drives both men and women to great things. It's our greatest source of greatness and weakness. So the fact that, a hetero straight woman, falls in love with somebody and goes to great lengths for that person, that's a problem, apparently. In the episode, Fry falls madly in love with a robot programmed to look like Lucy Liu, much of the horror of the Planet Express crew. Whatever, this is about the episode of I don't care. We've seen the sexbot character many times in sci-fi, from the busty fembots of Austin Powers to the hosts of Westworld to the pleasure model replicants of Blade Runner to the docile Stepford wives. Occasionally we'll get a male version like Jude Law's Gigolo Joe in AI Artificial Intelligence, which actually his character is probably the best character in that movie because that's a terrible movie. But these bots are almost always women. Alita's not a sex bot, but perhaps something even worse. She is a love bot, a cyborg that is powered by an unshakable and unearned devotion to the first boy she meets. Early on in the film, she opens up her chest cavity and literally offers her mechanical heart to Hugo, saying, I'd do whatever... Man, my southern just came out there. I'd do whatever I had to do for you. I'd give you whatever I had. I'd give you my heart. Which is a heartwarming thing. Why is that a problem? Why is it a problem that a woman wants to say that? I mean, come on. Why is this a problem? What Alita offers isn't sex, which makes it even better. The fact that it's not sexually driven, it's love. It's about love, dedication and devotion. Why is this a problem? Here's the reason why it's a problem is because there's no other problem for them to latch onto, so they make a problem out of this. Despite her shapely figure, she remains innocent and childlike. That is until she starts going into warrior mode and kicking ass. This tamped down sexuality combined with her fighting skills make Alita a chaste version of the classic girls with guns trope, a superficial read on feminism that equates violence with agency, and exactly this kind of female empowerment that entitled fanboys crave, a hot woman warrior who fights not for herself but for her man, while remaining utterly devoted to him. No wonder she appears in internet trolls. For them, she's a female fantasy come to life. Now, here's the thing. If James Cameron has come out and said that, oh man, we only want white, or we don't want white straight males reviewing our movie, then Mary Sue would have been just writing about how Alita is such a strong woman who knows her feelings and, dedicates her mission to her feelings, all this kind of stuff. So the fact that the movie was not political makes the movie a target to them. But, if we look at the ratings for Alita, well, I had it up here. Let's pull it up. Alita Battle Angel. All right. So we can see here, 60%, that's not, it's not terrible. It's the middle of the road. That's the critics. 94% audience score. I mean, there's a huge, obviously, disconnect between the average person and the tomato meter. And if you look at the audience ratings, I mean, this is out of 28,000 ratings. 94%, that's actually pretty good. And if you read this, it doesn't sound like trolls. Come in here, James Cameron's been dreaming about making Alita, blah, 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 for decades, bought the rights to the manga. It's a solid sci-fi action filled with bonanza of strong narrative. I mean, the thing is, you can go through these, and I don't see a troll in here at all, right? There's not a whole lot of people saying, oh, well, I think this is great because Captain Marvel is just dumb. it's people about saying it's a great movie, So they're trying to make an argument on nothing because they're just bitter about it. Meanwhile, Captain Marvel, tomato meter 78%, certified fresh, which granted, there were some critics who stepped out of line. I bet they got a slap on the wrist, but audience score is 59%, right? So it's officially, as far as the audience goes, it's a rotten. So it's a rotten tomato. So, but the fact that Alita was successful in people enjoying the movie and not Captain Marvel, which Captain Marvel's all about the virtue signaling of Brie Larson and of Disney and all that stuff, because it's a movie that has a social justice goal, and it's not doing as well as they would like it to do, because they can't force people to like it, which if they could, they would. Because of that, they're now pissed off, and so they're attacking what people are saying. Well, here's Captain Marvel, and then here's Alita, and here's why people like Alita, and here's why people don't like Captain Marvel, and it's purely take the politics out of it, right? If Captain Marvel didn't have all the political drama around it, it probably would do a lot better. Perceptions would be way different, right? So, but because it doesn't do, because Alita didn't have a social justice message tied to it, they had to, in the fact that people liked it, which includes men, straight white men, they had to find a way to attack it. So, I mean, it's the Mary Sue. We shouldn't be surprised. The Mary Sue is it's garbage. They're not real journalists. They're just bloggers. So, you could probably just take this with a grain of salt. But the thing is that there are a lot of people, and especially on Twitter, who actually believe this, and I can't imagine living life just believing this, that everything I don't like, then it must be something that the alt-right or MRAs or incels or whatever like. So, it's a terrible way to live. But anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and you can check me out on Twitter. And please comment. I do love seeing your comments, and I definitely do engage. So hope to see you guys again next time.